That battle was far more intense than anyone, I think, ever thought we'd experience in Somalia. The Somalis had started to modify their tactics. They became much more aggressive. They started to use rocket-propelled grenades, which are quite effective against helicopters in the terminal area. We could, when you're actually at the target where you're dropping people onto the target or landing to pick them up. And the Somalis realized that they could use them effectively. And I would say that change of tactics for them probably was the biggest impact to us. We knew that they were a threat. We had actually rehearsed. Oddly enough, the first aircraft shot down, Super 6-1, we had rehearsed less than a week prior that aircraft was shot down and gone through the contingencies of recovering them. But it's different when it's actually happening, and especially in an urban area, a city, because you're surrounded by the enemy and vastly outnumbered. The other thing the Somalis had done was decide that they were going to all close on the target once they knew where we were going, and they had set up a means of communication in the city to get everyone to flock to the target. So now, instead of a handful of Haber-Getter clansmen, you've got the whole city that's come out en masse to block roads, shoot at us, put up barricades. I mean, it was quite a battle. It lasted 18 hours. We had 5 aircraft shot down. Mine was actually the third. Only 2 of us are really well known because 2 went down behind enemy lines in the city, one of which was mine. And then my crash site was overrun. The first crash site was not overrun. It was defended because it was first, and everybody sort of consolidated around it. And unfortunately, we were a bit isolated. And in the process, 2 Delta Force snipers, Randy Sugard and Gary Gordon, volunteered to come in to render assistance to us. I had already crashed. I was knocked out and badly injured at the crash site. And out of nowhere, Randy and Gary showed up alongside the aircraft. And I thought it was a rescue force initially. As it turns out, there were just the 2 of them, and it would take hours before another American would make it to our crash site. And we could only hold out for so long. There were hundreds of Somalis attacking us, and that gunfight maybe lasted 10 minutes. And as good as Randy and Gary were at their craft, they just didn't have enough ammunition to keep everybody at bay, and ultimately both gave their lives, for which they were awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. I ended up being captured. I was the last person alive at the crash site, and the Somalis wanted a prisoner, so they took me into captivity. I spent 11 days in captivity and was ultimately released through the great effort and statesmanship of the former ambassador Robert Oakley, who single-handedly convinced the Somalis to let me go, and they did. Definitely saved my life. With the injuries I had, estimates are I would have probably only survived about 30 days, and returned to the unit, multiple surgeries, recovered, and went back and got back on flight status and served for 8 more years.